Hello viewers, welcome to our channel, and I am Chidi Miracle, your host for today, and with me I have
Mary John.
Okay, welcome Miss Mary John. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you.
Today we are going to be having a discussion on a topic. Though before that, we would like to know Miss Mary John. So Miss Mary,
Yes.
I would like you to introduce yourself to my viewers. Just tell us one or two things about yourself, so they will be sure they are in a safe hand for this topic.
Okay. I'm a scientist. I am a teacher. I write, I read, and I love good movies.
Wow, wow, that's nice. What a wonderful combination. So, Miss Mary, it's, a, it's my pleasure having a scientist sit with me. I didn't know you are a scientist. Nice meeting you. And from what you said, you love reading, and I'm sure that we are in a safe hand for this topic. So, viewers, moving on to our discussion, we are talking about books and its impact. And Miss Mary here will be sharing some light and some thoughts on how books are important and what we should do after now. If so, at the end of today, we are going to be making a decision. Either we should embrace our books more, or we should part ways with our books, as we always say. So stay with me as we go further. So the first question I have here is, what's the essence of books? What do you think is the essence of books? Why do we even have books, and why must we even read books?
Okay. Books are storage. That's what I see books are, as storage, a form of storing, like store information you've gotten, store ideas you've had from your head. So books are a way to capture that knowledge or idea and then put it there so other people can get it and read. So that means books are for information. They give information about something. Books are for learning. You learn from what people have written. Books are also for fun. Yes. So I think those three things.
Wow. Okay. So viewers, in summary, we can say books is just like a place to store information
Yes.
from the head. Okay, so that's good. So the second question we have here is, what's the impact of books to man? That's to a normal man. How has book impacted him, or what's even the impact of books?
Okay. When you read books, there are many benefits you can get from it. Like so far, we know that when you read, it helps to relieve stress. So most times when you are feeling stressed and you pick up a book and read, you forget about whatever it is that was stressing you at that moment.
Okay.
So you are inside the pages of the book. Also, book improves your vocabulary, your ability to speak well. Because when you are reading books, you can see so many new things you've never seen before. You see words you've never heard before, and then your brain stores these words. So when you read books, it helps you to improve your vocabulary. You have more words to use to talk about something instead of using the normal repetitive words that everybody uses.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Mary. So, viewers, in summary, we can say books help our vocabulary. In fact, they hold a whole lot importance, and it has really impacted man in different ways, in great ways, in fact, that we might not be able to outline now. But because of time, let's just move on to the next question.
Okay.
So, Miss Mary,
Yes.
so the second question here we have is, what do you think the impact of books on our economy is? Like, has reading books and the rest impacted our economy as a nation?
Nigeria's economy.
Yes.
I can't say. I don't
So,
know.
do you feel there's a way a book can impact our economy?
It's supposed to, because when you read books, you're supposed to get information from it, and then you're supposed to use that information to help the country, help in your state, local government, environment, house,
Okay.
neighborhood. So
Thank you very much, Miss Joyce. Okay, so why don't we read book in this part of the world? That's considering the benefits of books. Invariably, everything you want to become in life, you need to read a book. It's more like, so why do you think we don't read books in this part of the world? And again, I think there's a saying, they say if you want to hide something from an African or from a black, you put it in writing, you write it in a book. So why do you think that thing I've tried for long, and then it's more like we don't read book in this part of the world?
okay, I would say it's because of the, or it's because of what we've attached reading books to. For example, in every house, everyone wants their children to do well academically. So you must read your book, read your book, read your book. And that book you're reading is school book. And sometimes school book, in fact, not sometimes, school books are always boring, most of the times. So when everybody starts reading school book, school book, school book, once school is not in session again, they drop the book because they are tired of it. So it doesn't encourage them to read at all. They will just be reading just because I want to read and pass exams. Or I might also say it might also be because of the mental work attached to reading books. Because when you open a book to read, you read the words, you have to understand the words, and then you have to understand what the words mean, and then you have to understand why the word was used. So sometimes people don't have that patience to sit down and then start to understand somebody else's thoughts. So I guess
Thank
that's
you
why people
very
don't
much.
like to read.
Viewers, I hope you're learning a lot. Yeah, so because of the mental work, most times we don't really read book, and every other thing that we attached. And I know in this part of the world, it's more like book. We have really antagonized it, and then reading book is a dreadful experience that an average kid do not want to embark on.
Exactly.
So, okay, so what's your advice to readers out there, and then those that don't read? What's your advice to, in fact, to the world entirely? What do you think they should do henceforth?
Okay. To readers, I would like to advise them to always keep their books balanced when they read. Like they should not just focus on one genre of books alone.
Okay.
Go into other ones, like diversify. Because when you keep focusing on one, somehow the books you read influence the actions you take. So when you keep focusing on one certain kind of book, you end up acting that way. You feel that's the only right way to act. Then to non-readers, my advice would be to try reading, but start reading with something interesting first of all, something that catches your interest. Start from there, and then usually a smaller one, and then try it and see if you won't like it.
Okay, so viewers out there, if you're a reader, Miss Mary here is saying you should try and read books from other genres, and then for those that are not readers, just try and start reading. Start with the one you are convenient with, the one that interests you. So I think it will help you build the reading culture, and once you have the reading culture, you want to read books. So lastly, Miss Mary, before we call it a day, how often do you read books? And then from there we can now see how we can map out a healthy way to read books for both readers and non-readers out there.
How often do I read? I would say every day.
Wow. Okay.
I have a lot of soft copy books, and then I have quite a number of hard copy books. So every day I should have read At least 5 pages of a book.
Wow. That's quite decisive. 5 pages of a book. Okay, so what's your advice for us? Like for the viewers out there, what do you think they should do? Especially for those that are not readers. What do you think they should do?
What to do for
To be like you, more like to improve our reading culture.
Improve their reading
Yeah.
culture. Okay. Like I said before, non-readers should start with something they're interested in. For example, if the person is interested in sports, the person can pick up a sports book and read. It might not be like a report, like magazines or newspapers, sports reports. They might pick stories about sports characters or sports heroes, depending on what kind of sport they like, or just sports generally. And then they pick those books. Usually starts with a book that has a smaller volume, maybe like 30 pages, 40, 50, whichever one. And then if you do that, you don't try to map out time, because if it's something you're not used to, once you start doing it at first, you get tired in the middle of it. So they could map out a strategy like, okay, if this book has 50 pages, as a non-reader, I'm just trying to get interested in reading, I might want to start with reading 3 pages a day, for example. So whatever you are doing that day, read 3 pages. So if you now do 50 divided by 3, you would have
about 15 to 17 thereabouts.
okay, so that means you'll be reading for 17 days, approximately 3 weeks. So that way, and I promise you, they will finish that book before the second week is out. Because once they've started reading, once you just know that I have only 3 pages to read today, once you've read the 3, you would want to read the next page and see what is going on, especially if the book captures your interest. So that's how they could start. People that are interested in architecture or mathematics can look for good books on that is not academic related, and then they break it down like that. Readers too can do the same thing. It will also help them as well.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much, Miss Mary.
Thank you.
It's quite insightful. Viewers, I hope you've learned a lot. So, for those that want to try out books, want to start reading, start with something that interests you. Start with a smaller volume and build the culture. And for those that are already proficient readers, keep reading. Keep the culture burning. So, till when next we meet, I'm still your host, Chidi Miracle, and my guest here is
Mary John.
Mary John. Thank you very much, and it was nice having you on this show. Bye for now.